Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we will be grocery store plant shopping at the Kroger's off of North McKinney, Texas. As always, please make sure you're hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. I do 1 hour plant shopping videos daily, and today we are going to this Kroger marketplace. So Kroger has been producing a lot of Monstera Thai Constellations for $29.99. So I'm going to see if this particular marketplace, which is right across the street from the Baylor Scott and White hospital off of 380, to see if they actually have some Monstera Thai Constellations. I have visited this grocery store often and featured a lot of the plants that they have. And, you know, as always, whenever you go to a grocery store, a lot of the plants are always going to be in the floral section. So I'm going to pan over here and show you guys a couple of plants that they have. I love looking at the flowering indoor plants that they have here. They've got a bunch of kalanchoes, a bunch of azalea simpsii or indoor azaleas, some daffodils, some bulb plants, but I am obsessed with these azalea simpsii or indoor azaleas. These ones are only for $9.99. You can see that some of the blooms are already spent, but you can see that pink margin or pink outlining on this particular azalea is really nice. Now with indoor azaleas, if you're new to growing indoor azaleas like I was a couple weeks back, they need to be in conditions in your home where it doesn't get above like 75 degrees. They like cooler temperatures. And the most important thing is never, ever, ever let an azalea simpsii or indoor azalea dry out completely. Their roots are very fine. They don't do well with drought. So that's the thing about azaleas. Actually, azaleas, even in the landscape, until they are fully established, you really need to be watering them daily. They like acidic soil, and they like soil that's fast draining, but they do require a lot of water. So just keep that in mind. I love looking at these blooms, especially this one. I actually have this particular azalea here, this like purple lavender color. It's a really nice looking one, or magenta, whatever you want to call it. But you can see that these are already in full bloom, and I really like it. This one is for $19.99. So a lot of these I never really paid attention to, but a lot of these indoor azaleas are really meant to be gifts. It's basically a living flower arrangement versus getting cut flowers, which is what I like, because that way you can continue to get these azaleas. What I've learned about azalea simpsii or indoor azaleas are that they do rebloom, but obviously when you are buying them at a big box store like Kroger, you will see that they are pretty much close to bloom or about to bloom. If I were to buy another one, I would find one that has more budding, so the blooms would last a little bit longer. I'm not sure how long the bloom lasts, but that's beautiful to look at. And then we've got a bunch of cut flowers here. I am going to walk over here. Typically they have more reduced plants at Kroger, but you can see right here we've got a hyacinth for $4.20. That's the thing about going to Kroger. They treat their plants as if it is like live produce. So, as some of the plants slightly decline in health, they will reduce them. So in terms of those Monstera Thai Constellations we've been seeing, depending on what the demand looks like, but you might end up actually getting one as low as $7. So I will be checking Kroger's daily to see if they will reduce them in prices. But for now, we're going to look at some more of these plants. I haven't seen any Thai Constellations yet. I do like looking at these cordyline tea plants right here. I like that a lot. And, I really like the fact that they are available everywhere. I do like the compact version. I may go to Callaway's to actually buy that. And you can see we've got some hyacinths here. These aren't bad priced at all. And I love the smell of hyacinths. They are perennial, so with hyacinths, you can plant them in the ground alongside with those daffodils, and they will come back year after year. So really enjoy that about these hyacinths, and also these hydrangeas right over here. The thing about hydrangeas is I found them very challenging to grow. I've tried to grow them in my landscapes. I live out in North Dallas where the summers get really hot, and I just haven't figured out that sweet spot when it comes to just hydrangeas being in the right conditions. Just like indoor plants, outdoor plants really have to have the conditions to grow very well. You've got to look whether it's partial shade, full sun for them. And with hydrangeas, they definitely need more partial shade or shade to do very well. And over here, we've got some cordyline Hawaiian tea plants. Now, all of these are for $29.99. And I will say Kroger Grocery Stores, I do believe that you should go to grocery stores primarily for grocery shopping, but you'd be surprised about how many amazing plants you can get at grocery stores for a very good price. I definitely will buy some more indoor house plants at Kroger. There's a couple of plants like the peperomias I've seen, even Hoyas I've seen, pothos I've seen, flowering plants like these hydrangeas, very good prices. And then also, I did come back for this. So a couple of days ago, I discovered a variegated orchid. Check this Phalaenopsis orchid out. It's got the purple blooms, but look at this. So I have decided, I've kept on talking about getting orchids and Phalaenopsis orchids. My first orchid will definitely come today, and I will buy one today at this Kroger. There's only like 3 left, I believe, that are variegated. So I'm going to look for one that has some of the buds still, not fully bloomed yet, just so I can get longer lasting blooms. I may end up repotting it once it's done with its bloom cycle, so I don't really disturb it. And then you can see here, this is just a regular Phalaenopsis orchid with no variegation on the leaves. I like the variegation on the leaves because there is a little bit more interest after the blooms go away. It does take a while for them to rebloom, and these ones are all the espresso orchids are only for $9.99. So I don't mind spending a little bit of money today in terms of getting that variegated orchid, because I don't really see that often, and that's really cool that they still have them available. And you can see right over here, look at that purple, that deep purple. I love dark foliage plants. I talk about that often in my shopping videos, but let me know in the comments what you guys think, my plant foldies. And if you are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. And if you're watching this live, don't be shy to actually say hello on the live premiere chats. That's actually part of my channel's charm, I suppose, is our community being able to interact live and chat live as this video premieres. And you can see right here, these orchids are in these like egg-shaped planters, really cute. I like that a lot. And that's the thing about grocery stores. They are very seasonally relevant when it comes to plants. They've got some really good plants in nice planters. And, with Easter, they have a bunch of Easter lilies, for instance, and all of the Easter decorations. And then also, when you go to a grocery store and they have seasonally relevant plants, just know when that holiday is over. So like all of these Easter lilies that we're going to be looking at in just a bit will go on clearance, and you can get some good plants. Like I got some oxalis or shamrock plants that were reduced to like $2.20 after St. Patty's Day. So that's cool. And you can see here, we've got a bunch of peace lilies or spathiphyllums. These are also very large foliage plants, very low light tolerant, and they can get as large size like these. These are for $29.99 at this particular Kroger. Again, if you have Kroger grocery stores, depending on where you're from, they actually have pretty much the same plants that are featured. So if I do any out of town traveling, I will definitely check out Kroger to see if they have those Monstera Thai Constellations and what other plants that they have available. But this one is pretty packed usually. And you can see right here, this is another variegated orchid. I think I'm going to end up getting this variegated orchid just because the blooms look pretty healthy. There are some buds still, and look at that. There's not that much damage on the leaves as well. Look at how gorgeous that is. That variegation is really cool. It's not something that you would see often, and for $9.99, a variegated orchid, Phalaenopsis orchid, is not bad at all. I do intend to repot this in some orchid bark, because what I don't like about these Phalaenopsis orchids is the medium that they are growing in is a sphagnum moss. And with orchids, you want to keep them their roots a little bit more dry versus staying moist. And sphagnum moss keeps a lot of moisture. So for me, it's not going to work well. But then again, I consider myself an underwaterer. So that means I don't really water my plants as often as I need to be. So it might work out, at least for now. When I buy that variegated orchid, I'm just going to keep it in that sphagnum moss, because I'm probably not going to water it as often, maybe once every 2 weeks, if that. And we'll see. But I'm going to pan over here and show you guys some more of these beautiful orchids in the different colors. love to be able to get some spathiphyllum or peace lilies in my collection because of the low light tolerance that they have. I mean, you can even grow a peace lily in the bathroom, and if it doesn't get like windows, it'll still thrive. I'm going to walk over here now and show you some more plants. So one of my viewers, Plant Foldies, Kathy, wanted to see more jade plants. So this is just a regular crassula. This one is for $13.99 by Mason Farm. So I love Mason Farm plants. These are typically the plants that are sourced to Kroger. You can see they have a wide variety of plants. I like this Croton Petra, not because it has like that very colorful variegation. I actually like the subtleties of the veining. You can see there's a yellow veining, red veining, orange veining. So I think that's cool that this one is more subtle in its coloration. And with Croton Petra, this one is for $9.99. If you put it out in full sun, it will get so many intense colors. It literally looks like a bush that's on fire with all of the bright reds and yellows and oranges. I really like that a lot. One plant that I do recommend for a lot of people who are new to houseplants is growing this Dracaena. This one is a Dracaena Marley for $13.99. I like the green striping, that green variegation. It is a simple plant, but this plant can actually get fairly large. It can get up to about 4 feet in height, and it can tolerate lower light conditions and can be underwatered. So it makes a really good plant. And over here, it's everybody's favorite on Grow Falls. This is a Hydra Helix, or what you call a Hedera Helix English ivy. That's the correct way to say it's Hedera Helix. But for some reason, my plant foldies, you guys like it when I say Hydra Helix. So all I'm going to say about English ivy is it is a challenging plant. It's a gorgeous looking plant. What makes it challenging is for some reason when grown indoors, English ivy are very susceptible to spider mites. I am doing the Hedera Helix challenge, or the Hydra Helix challenge, on Instagram, where I want to see if I'll be able to grow an English ivy indoors. Mine has been growing, I would say, for about a month and a half now, and for some reason English ivy number 13 and 14 haven't gotten spider mites. I think it's because I have taken preventative measures by spraying them down with like my do-it-yourself neem oil spray, and also making sure they're near a humidifier in my plant room. We're going to walk over here. I love these plant displays that Kroger has. They always have one for each season. This is that Easter floral display that they have. So they have a variety of indoor azaleas, different types of bulb plants like tulips, daffodils, and you can see that they are on sale right now. They've got a bunch of them here. Look at how beautiful that white tulip is. Tulips are gorgeous. I always forget to put my tulip bulbs down in the fall though. So I may get lucky and maybe remember to do that this coming fall. But what a beautiful looking setup right here. Actually, it was a little bit more full when I was here about 3 or 4 days ago. But you can see they've got a bunch of assorted flowers right here. I want to pan over all of these indoor azaleas. You know, azaleas kind of remind me of my love for Hydra Helix. You know, English ivies are challenging, and what I realized, azaleas indoor or outdoor for some reason are a little bit more challenging for me. I've tried to grow outdoor azaleas every season, and for some reason they just don't do well for me in the ground. I think it's because I really have to stay on top of the watering. And you can see here what a beautiful looking yellow daffodil. I love this electrifying pink look about these azaleas. Look at that. Isn't that awesome right here? Now this is for $19.99. This is a very large looking azalea. Now with Azalea Simsii, or indoor azalea, you cannot really plant them in the ground. They only do best in indoor situations with a lot of bright indirect light, or bright light in general. And they can grow out in the patio. Right now mine are growing out in my back patio shade. And you can see right over here, this one's got a different texture of the flowers. Nice looking azalea here. It might be actually underwatered, and this one's for $17.99. I wouldn't pay $17.99 for that particular azalea. And look at how elegant these miniature roses are at Kroger. I do want to grow some miniature roses. I did ask the question for my viewers. Have you grown miniature roses outdoors? Have you planted them in the ground? And how well did they do for you in your landscape? If you've done that before, please leave that in the comments and or in the live premiere chats. But you can see here what beautiful flowers. I'm just going to pan over here and just kind of show you what else we've got here. Like this Kalia lily right here. This is a perennial plant. $9.99 is not bad, and you can actually plant Kalia lilies in the ground. They will return year after year because it's a perennial plant. But let's just admire all of the beautiful blooming plants. Like I love the color of this azalea right here. What do you guys think? Isn't it gorgeous? And you can see that these are flowering plants that were the night before Easter Sunday. So maybe some of these azaleas and beautiful flowering plants might be on clearance by the time I come visit this again sometime this week. And you can see right here, we've got a bunch of Easter lilies. These are only for $8.99. Very fragrant smelling Easter lilies. And you can see they've got some white azalea simpsonii. I mean, I hope you guys don't get tired of me showing you indoor azaleas, just because whenever I go to Kroger, I just love admiring them. The blooms are beautiful. I never really paid attention to azaleas. Didn't really think that we would grow them indoors, but apparently you can. I will attempt to grow them a little bit more successfully next time, because now I realize that they need to stay fairly wet, and they need to be in cooler conditions in order to thrive. But all of these Easter lilies aren't even fully blooming yet. So if they do clearance these out, and I'm going to check to see if they are the day after Easter, and I'll report back to you guys. So if you haven't already, please make sure you are hitting the subscribe button and putting the notification bell on. I do 1 hour plant shopping videos, and I will keep you posted, especially for those that are local Dallas-Fort Worth area plant foldies. You'll get all of the reports from me, and maybe you might get some plant finds. But the purpose of me going to this Kroger is just to see if this Kroger marketplace will actually carry some Monstera Thai Constellations. I am just going to show you some more of the plants that they have available. Now, this is another Croton Petra. This one's for $9.99. Really like the look of this one. This one is not a bad price at all for a Croton Petra. You can go to Home Depot and save a little bit more money on the plants. I do like that we have many options when it comes to plant shopping. And right over here, we've got another Hydra Helix, or your Hedera Helix English Ivy. I swear, if you've been watching my videos daily, let me know if you've actually picked up a Hedera Helix English Ivy, and let me know if you're actually growing it. I would actually urge everybody to do that challenge. If you've got an Instagram account, do the Hydra Helix challenge, like hashtag Hydra Helix, hashtag grow folds, and let me know how your English Ivy does. But I do love showing you guys even the subtleties of the veining of these Croton Petras. Sometimes not even having all the coloration on plants, even just the veinings or the stem colors are things that would appeal to me. And you can see right over here, we've got another Dracaena Marley. This one is for $13.99. Very easy plant. I don't think you could really kill it unless you overwater it. It can tolerate lower light conditions. It's a very good beginner plant, so I would recommend that. Now, right over here is an Alocasia Black Velvet for $19.99. This is a plant I wouldn't recommend for the beginner. Any type of alocasia tends to be a little bit more finicky because they require a little bit more humidity. The watering is a little bit tricky. Like, you don't want to overwater them, but you don't want to underwater them. They want to stay a little bit more moist. But the perks of an alocasia is they propagate themselves fairly easy. You'll get what they call corms that will produce, and basically new babies will come around. I would love to be able to get a variegated alocasia in the works, but those are super expensive right now. And then right over here for $19.99 is a classic Monstera Adansonii. This one is for $19.99 by Mason Farms right here. This is the wide form. I have a couple of Monstera Adansonii that I propagated in water that have fully rooted. I actually have a lot of cuttings that have rooted in water. I just have to take the time to actually plant them in soil or maybe grow them hydroponically still. And here we've got some bromeliads by Costa Farms. So Costa Farms actually sources out to Kroger as well. And again, you will save a lot of money when you shop at Kroger in terms of just your house plants, indoor plants, even outdoor plants. Groceries like this right here for $14.99, that is not a bad price at all for the bromeliad. And this one is a little bit more subtle in its coloration. It doesn't have the bright pinks, but if you want something more subtle, I would recommend that. And here we've got a gorgeous Ficus elastica burgundy. This one is a classic plant as well. This one is for $13.99 in a 5-inch starter planter. Really like the look of this Ficus elastica, and it's one of those plants that are easy to grow. You can actually grow Ficus elastica in full sun. Some people will say that they need more bright light, but I've grown them in full sun and they really size up when you do that. And over here, we've got another Hydra Helix. Love that English ivy. I really think that I should get a green version, this one that I see often at Kroger. And right here is a gorgeous looking Peperomia obtusifolia marble. Nice cream variegation. This particular Peperomia is quite easy, and when you touch the leaves, it's a thick, waxy leaf. It almost reminds me of a Hoya. And this one is a white polka dot plant. Look at the beautiful white foliage on it. The only thing about polka dot plants is they have very strong coloration. They've got pinks, they've got reds, they've got white, but they are just a little bit more finicky. I haven't been very successful with polka dot plants. This one is for $9.99. They do require more humidity and they definitely don't want to dry out. So make sure that if you do have a polka dot plant, that their soil remains a little bit more moist, and they do better in terrarium settings, or at least what I've seen. Right here, gorgeous looking Hoya Carrii for $13.99. Kroger is a good place to look for Hoyas. You'll get some random ones that pop up. I was able to find one that was a variegated Hoya Carrii. And then here's another Crassula for $13.99, or jade plant. This is just a common green one, but it's still a gorgeous looking plant. Now with jade plants, they do require a lot of light. Full sun can work for them, and they like to stay on more of the drier side when it comes to watering. Ficus lyrata, this used to be the it plant a couple years back. Everybody was wanting to get it. Ficus lyrata for $13.99, this fiddle fig leaf. This one will require a lot of light. Any type of ficus plant does require a lot more light. There's very few varieties that can tolerate lower light conditions, but with the Ficus lyrata, I would say consistency is key. When you bring it home, find a permanent spot that it will stay and it will remain happy. Just make sure there's a lot of light. I love Ficus lyrata. They can get very large, up to 20 feet tall, so just make sure you have the space for it. And then we have some more low light tolerant plants. This one is one of my favorites, Aglaonema Mary Ann. Aglaonemas are another house plant that I would recommend for anybody that is into starting it, growing indoor plants is what I'm trying to say. This one is for $13.99. This is a classic Aglaonema, one that I would recommend. With Aglaonemas, they can tolerate lower light conditions. Try not to water them often. I would say wait till the soil dries out completely. And if you give it more bright indirect light, they will the potential of them getting more leggy will be less. And then right over here, we've got some more beautiful plants now. China doll plant. I recently got one from Costa Farms Exotic Angels for like $3.98 at another grocery store called HEB. I was actually really interested in growing a China doll plant because they can get very large, and I love how the leaves are naturally shiny and they can get large. But the only problem is with the China doll plant is, for me, they require more water. So if you let their soil dry out completely, they will crisp up. So, that's the thing about house plants or indoor plants. You have to really know what your watering patterns are. Are you a little bit less into watering? Like, are you more conservative like I am? Otherwise, you may not be able to grow plants that are a little bit more thirsty. So here we have a zebra plant for $13.99. Now, I've heard that zebra plants, as gorgeous as they are a little bit more finicky of a plant. So I haven't really put that in my collection. For some reason, it just hasn't appealed to me. And over here, we've got some more Phoetonias. This is a Phoetonia red. What I like about this particular Phoetonia, and I feature this often in my videos, is look at that subtle black outlining on the Phoetonias. I really like the look of that. And I like the fact that, it's one that's available at Kroger. So you'd be surprised about all of the different types of plants that they have available at Kroger, and for good prices as well. So I feel that I'm actually very fortunate, Plant Foldies, to be able to share these plant shopping videos from you guys. And you can see here another Costa Farms release. This one is another bromeliad. Love the look of this bromeliad. And you can see why. This one is for $14.99. And what I like about this bromeliad is, look at that pink. I love pink plants. Plant Foldies, if you love pink plants or are into that type of color, please leave in the comments what pink plants you like, what you like about this bromeliad, if you're a fan of it. Again, I am all about that engagement. Feel free to leave me feedback, both positive and negative feedback, as long as it's constructive, so that way I can continue to improve. I know that somebody mentioned that they would prefer for me to not talk as much, so I'm going to try to scale back on my talking, but I don't know. I just use these plant shopping videos as a way of therapy to be able to kind of ramble on about what my thoughts are on plants. So you'll have to bear with me. I just love talking about plants. It brings me a lot of joy. And right over here, we've got some Plumosa ferns. What a delicate looking plant right here. It doesn't even look real. I don't know a lot about the care tips. I'm going to have to do my research on that. And then here's another Hydra Helix. This one is the baby gold Hedera Helix English Ivy. Love that variegation. I actually have that particular English Ivy. And then we have our classic but hardy golden pothos. This one's for $9.99. That's actually not a bad price. And look at the variegation on this pothos. It's actually a very good one. And you can see that they've got a little bunny rabbit decoration for Easter here. Pothos probably is the one plant that has started everybody's houseplant journey. I would think that people would either be gifted this and then they start collecting plants, or somebody would recommend it to them and then they will just keep getting plants. I know pothos was one of my first indoor plants. And I'm going to scale back over here and show you these gorgeous looking polka dot plants. Love the colors of polka dot plants. Again, you want to keep their soil moist, but not over water. So you're just going to have to figure out your groove. They do require a little bit more humidity. So we're going to see. And in here is one of my favorite Epipremnum aureum. This is the Enjoy, although it is labeled as pearls and jade. This is an actual Enjoy pothos, another gorgeous looking pothos. This one can tolerate lower light conditions and it actually wouldn't really revert. It would just get a little bit more green, but not all the way reversion. It is a slower growing pothos. It has smaller leaves, but I love the variegation. It'd be interesting to see and Enjoy grow up a totem pole and see how large these leaves can get. That's what happens when you grow pothos plants on a totem pole, moss pole, or a plank. Their leaves actually get very large because their aerial roots will attach to it. That's kind of how it grows in the wild. And then we've got some more Hydra Helix. This is just that green version. They've got a lot of English Ivy at Kroger's. I don't know if they just got a huge push for English Ivy. Maybe we should all get English Ivy. I do challenge anybody to grow an English Ivy indoors and let me know how that works out for you, because they're very, very challenging plants. I cannot tell you how challenging they are. And the moment everybody has been waiting for on this video, and I hope that you've stuck around this channel, this video. Look at the plant finds. This Monstera Thai Constellation. They've got quite a bit at this Kroger marketplace right off of 380 in North McKinney, Texas. You can see that these are for $29.99. Gorgeous looking Monstera Thai Constellation. Super excited that they're available. Now, I was told that Walmart was also offering Monstera Thai Constellations for, I think, $39.99 by Growers Bench. So you better believe that, Monday after Easter, I will be looking around Houston, or if I get back in time for Dallas to see if I can find some Monstera Thai Constellations at Walmart. But that one is a winner right here. I would say this one is a winner. And I think what I'm going to do now is whenever I go to Kroger, I will be looking for Monstera Thai Constellations and looking for like my top 3, top 5, and culling them to see which are the best varieties. But you can see here, they've got some really good varieties. This one has some slight leaf burning or some crisping on the white leaves. Plant foldies, let me know in the comments specifically if you know how to do timestamp comments. Let me know which particular Thai constellation you would bring home. Now, I've got some inquiries from both Instagram and the comment section about would I be willing to, buy a Thai constellation and ship it out to somebody out in the United States. I am a little bit weary about doing that. I would be open, but it really just depends. I am doing a plant giveaway for a Monstera Thai Constellation. In order to be eligible, you do have to have an Instagram account. So make sure, if you haven't already, create an Instagram account. I will get the details soon on my plant giveaway. But in terms of being able to ship out to multiple people, I will probably just have my reservations because I don't really want to be... I don't really have the time to really, pack a plant and actually ship it out to multiple people. There are so many plant foldies, and if I do it for one, I would have to do it for another 100. I've gotten so many inquiries about it in my my direct messaging. It might be something I would entertain, just really depends on that. But for now, I'm gonna just try to stick to the plant giveaway. There are people on Facebook, maybe some other local plant foldies that might be willing to ship. I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it. It would just really depend on the circumstances. Honestly, I just have a lot going on. I have a job. I'm a salaried employee that has to work at least 10-hour shifts. And then I have on top of that, just a regular life outside of YouTube. But obviously, I do want to bring you guys joy. So we'll see. We'll see if I'll be able to get some Thai constellations. But this one is another gorgeous one. But yeah. I just can't believe that they have Thai constellations popping up everywhere. Again, with this plant, it is one of those plants that, 3 or 4 years ago was quite pricey. I remember paying $300 for a 2-leaf, 1-node unrooted cutting for this Thai constellation. Now fast forward to 2024, and you can see that there are so many specimens to the point where before even seeing that many Thai constellations like this, you would have to go to like a specialty plant nursery, not a grocery store. This one has a damaged leaf, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but it does have some beautiful variegation. I'm hoping that a lot of these Thai constellations will get sold to somebody, especially for those that have been looking for a specific Monstera Thai constellation. I remember seeing them pop up at a local plant nursery called Callaway's, which is one of my favorites. But Thai constellations, it's going to be the house plant of the year because we're going to see a lot of big box stores. So this would be another Thai constellation I would consider as one that I would pick because it's already started to fenestrate. Look at the even variegation on this Monstera, and this new leaf is healthy and it's starting to really get large. I might end up buying this one and maybe doing a plant giveaway. So stay tuned on my Instagram page. If you don't have Instagram and want to be part of it, make sure you create an Instagram account. Follow me at Growfold and I'll give you all the details. But I will definitely do a plant giveaway very soon for a Monstera Thai Constellation. Hopefully the winner will get one, especially ones that don't have the Kroger's available. I'm going to try my best to bring you guys some joy because I know that plants bring joy to everybody. Plants make people happy. making videos for you guys on a daily basis makes me happy. So plant foldies, stay tuned for that. And you can see right over here, this one is another gorgeous looking leaf that's unfurling. Hopefully it doesn't get damaged. So that's the risk of like transporting plants when they are unfurling a new leaf, but that one seems to be okay. This one is another Monstera Thai Constellation. Now this one doesn't have nearly as much variegation as some of the others. So that's the interesting thing. Whenever you're shopping for variegated plants, you know, things I like to look at is how stable the variegation is. Is it pretty even? What does the variegation look like on the stems? And you can see right over here, this one is mostly green, but I would say this would be a stronger plant because there's mostly green. So it'd probably grow a little bit more vigorously. Thai constellations actually grow a little bit faster than the Monstera albo. The Monstera albo tends to be a little bit slower. So if you want a faster growing variegated Monstera, like, wow, look at that leaf and the stem, I would settle for a Monstera Thai Constellation. Now, if you are watching this and you are part of our community, please leave in the comments if you find Monstera Thai Constellations outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I would really like to know. And if you post any of your pictures of Monstera Thai Constellations you find on Instagram, I would love for you to tag me at GrowFolds and use the hashtag PlantFoldies and hashtag GrowFolds. I'd love to be able to connect our community on Instagram. And you can see here another gorgeous looking Monstera. This is another one I would pick, and you can see that the leaf has just unfurled. Really like the look of this Monstera as well. It is gorgeous, and I am worried about that new leaf unfurling. It looks like there might be some potential damage, but overall it's a nice looking Monstera. So I'm just gonna keep showing you different types of Monsteras, and you let me know what you think, which one you would pick, especially if you're in the live premiere chat watching this live. Like, this one is an awesome looking one. I would probably buy this one as well. This one would probably be in my top 3 if I were to pick a top 3 today because of that variegation. Look at that. Very nice marbling variegation for Monstera. This one's got some nice even variegation here, and the leaves are large. Plant foldies, what do you think about this one? This one's only for $29.99, so you would save a lot of money. I've got a lot of feedback that Monstera Thai Constellations in other parts of the United States and even in Canada, shout out to my Canadian plant foldies, by the way, are still quite pricey. I don't think $29.99 is bad at all for this, and honestly, I will keep going Monstera Thai Constellation hunting just to show you this. Like, this one is another great one here. This one is starting to fenestrate and get larger leaves. Now, if you're going to be growing Monstera Thai Constellations, a couple of things to consider. Number one, if you're going to replant it or repot it, make sure you give it some very chunky soil mix, especially at this stage of the game. Monstera Thai Constellations roots are easily rotted, so that's one of the risk of Monstera Thai Constellations. And two, it definitely needs some type of support or moss pull for it to really thrive. So just a couple of features on that just to keep in mind as we're looking at these Thai constellations. Like even this one right here, it's mostly green, but you can see as that leaf unfurls, it looks like it's going to have a very heavy cream variegation on the bottom side of the leaf. You can see right here. And that's the cool thing about variegated plants. They are always random, although sometimes they have those like patterns where like it will push out half moon leaf variegation and then green half moon leaf variegation. I ended up buying 3 half moon variegated Monstera Thai constellations, and I felt like that was like hitting the jackpot. I was so excited to get it. And I'm just going to keep showing you different kinds. Again, plant foldies, leave in the comments what you think of these Monstera Thai constellations and which ones would you buy, and I will give you my opinion on which 3 I would actually pick at the later part of this video. plant foldies. I'm going to start picking out the Monstera Thai Constellations that I would have bought at this Kroger location. I don't think I'm going to buy any Monstera Thai Constellations today. I feel like if I visit some more Kroger, I could be a little bit more selective, even though a lot of these gorgeous looking Monsteras have some great variegation. But here are my top 3 Monstera Thai Constellation selections. Number 1 right here, candidate number 1. That's the reason why I would pick it. They all have some really even variegation, large leaves. Like look at this right here. And you can see that the new leaf unfurling is great. Again, these are for $29.99. Let me know if you would have picked this or bought that Monstera Thai Constellation. I really wish I could ship out to multiple people. I know that I've gotten a lot of requests, but I've never really shipped out plants, and I don't really want to be responsible for damages on the plants. And then on top of that, it's just a time constraint. But you can see right over here is another Monstera Thai Constellation. I picked that one because of the fenestrated leaves that have started to grow. And then the last one I will show you had some really even variegation as well. That's the thing about it. It's got some really good splashes of sectoral variegation, but then I also like that it's got splotchiness of variegation as well. It's always nice to look at these plants just because, again, it's just exciting to see such an uncommon rare plant a couple years back be seen at a grocery store. So plant foldies, as always, let me know what you think about these Monstera Thai Constellations. Do you want me to keep Monstera Thai Constellation hunting? I mean, this one would be also in my top 4 because of the variegated leaves here. I cannot believe these are on sale for $29.99. Very excited to see what the rest of spring looks like in terms of other Monstera Thai Constellations here. And you can see this beautiful leaf unfurling. But the only type of plant I will buy today would be that variegated Phalaenopsis orchid. You know, they only had 3 left, and even though it might be considered a common plant, I haven't seen variegated Phalaenopsis orchids, so that's one thing that I want to add. But I did want to just leave you with a couple more shots of Monstera Thai Constellation. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video and stuck this far, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel with the notification bell. I am about to check out and buy this Phalaenopsis orchid for $9.99 variegated form. This is Richie at Growfolds, and I hope you guys have an awesome Monday. I will see you soon. Bye.